Find a comfortable position on your back. Extend your right sole towards the ceiling, making some ankle circles, one direction and then the next. Imagining using your big toe to draw a circle in the air. On your exhale, draw your knee into your chest, point and flex your toes, finding some movement in that ankle. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, allow your right knee to fall off to the left, using your left hand as leverage. Extend your right fingertips out to the right and take your gaze out over your right fingertips. Extend your right arm overhead, reaching your fingertips towards the back wall. And then on your exhale, goal post your arm by creating an L shape in that right arm. Remain here for several inhales and exhales, noticing how the inhales create space, and on the exhales, you take up the space that you've created. Your inhales allow your muscles to relax, so that on your exhales, you can get a little bit deeper in the stretch. When you feel complete on this side, take a deep breath in, bring that right knee through center, draw it closer to your right armpit, and then let it fall off to the right, opening your hip while taking your left hand out to a T. Begin making some big hip circles. Imagine drawing invisible circles on the ceiling with your knee. Make those circles in one direction, and then when you feel complete, reverse the direction, making those big circles in the opposite direction. Draw your knee into your chest one last time, then extend it long. Lift your left sole towards the ceiling, making those ankle circles in one direction, and then switch. When you feel complete, exhale your knee into your chest and begin to point and flex your toes on your left foot. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, let your left knee fall across your right hip. Take your left hand out to a T, using your right hand as leverage on the outside of your left knee. On an inhale, extend your left fingertips long overhead. And on your exhale, goal post your arm by bringing your elbow to a 90-degree angle. Stay in this position as you breathe deeply in and deeply out. For every inhale, your muscles will relax. And on every exhale, you will be able to take up the space that you just created. On these supine twists, be sure to take your time and stay as long as you need. Even if the video has moved on, feel free to pause and stay longer if your body is calling for a little bit more. On your inhale, draw your left knee into center, bring it close to that left armpit, and allow it to fall off to the left. Opening up your hip, begin to make some big hip circles by drawing that imaginary circle on the ceiling with your left knee. Complete several in one direction, and then reverse the direction in order to get mobility in every single area of that left hip. When you are complete, circle out that ankle and extend that left leg long. Reach your fingertips long overhead, and then goal post your arm, allowing your fingers to drag across the floor. Extend your fingertips long, goal post by bringing your elbows to a 90-degree angle. Feel free to move through as many of these as your shoulders need in order to find some space and mobility. Now, grab your fingers and really drive your knuckles to the opposite wall, opening and closing your hands, making fists, and then stretching your fingers long. On your exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Bring your forehead up to your knees to give yourself a big, tight squeeze. Find your happy baby. Grab the outside edge of both feet, bringing your knees into your chest, or the outside of your calves or the backs of your hamstrings, noticing what is accessible. You can grab your big toe, ultimately looking for that range of motion to grab the outside edge of both feet, soles of your feet going towards the ceiling, your knees into your chest. Begin to slowly extend one leg and then the next by pressing your knee towards the back wall and releasing. Pressing the opposite knee towards the back wall and then releasing. Rock your happy baby by rocking back and forth, giving your spine a good massage. Grab the outside of your shins. Give yourself one more big tight squeeze. Begin to rock and roll the length of your mat and come forward into your tabletop. Stepping back, your hips will be directly over your knees and your shoulders directly over your wrists. From tabletop, take a deep breath in for your cow pose. Hips are lifted, gaze goes up. Exhale for your cat. Around your spine, tuck your hips. Inhale for your cow, drop your belly, lift your hips. Exhale for your cat, round your spine, tuck your chin. Now on your cow, tuck your toes and lift your gaze. For your cat, untuck your toes and press your spine away. Cow, tuck your toes, lift your hips, take your gaze up. Cat, untuck your toes, lift your spine, tuck your chin. Tuck your toes for your cow pose. Take your gaze out over your left shoulder. Inhale through center, take your gaze out over your right shoulder. Inhale through center. Inhale your left hand up towards the ceiling. Roll out your wrist in both directions, and then on your exhale, thread your needle. Your left hand reaches underneath your body towards the right side as your right fingertips reach up towards the top of your mat. Reach that right hand towards the ceiling and then around your back to grab the outside of your left hip. Shift your weight into that left knee as you extend your right leg long. Find your balance as you begin lifting your right heel towards the ceiling. Flex your toes towards your face. And then on your exhale, let your right knee meet your left. Release your bind. Place your hand back on the mat. Reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, find your tabletop. Left hand down, right hand reaches. Circle out your wrist in one direction and then the next. And on your exhale, thread your needle. Right hand reaches to the left side as your left hand reaches towards the top of your mat. Find a deep side body stretch. And then bring your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Reach around to grab the outside of your right hip. Shift your weight into that right knee. Begin extending your left leg long. When you're ready, lift the heel of your left foot up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, bring your left knee back down to meet your right. Unravel as you bring your left hand back down to the mat. Reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, find your tabletop. Bring your toes together to touch behind you and take your knees out wide. reach your fingertips towards the top of your mat and slowly begin to lower into your child's pose. In your child's pose, walk your fingertips over towards the left. Take your right hand over your left and find a deep side body stretch. On your inhale, walk your hands through center. And on your exhale, walk them over to the right. Left palm on top of your right, finding a deep side body stretch. Inhale your hands through center, and on your exhale, let your chest fall just a little bit closer as you walk your fingertips towards the mat, and then use your fingertips to press your hips back towards your heels, alternating to see what feels best. Begin to rock forward onto your forearms, tapping your chin to the floor just beyond your fingertips. On your exhale, let your glutes fall towards your heels for a big deep stretch. Inhale, rock forward onto your forearms and let your chin tap the mat. Exhale your glutes back towards your heels, stretching through your fingertips. Inhale, rock forward, chin taps to the top of your mat. Exhale, lower into your child's pose. Come forward for your tabletop. Tuck your toes. Press back for your downward facing dog. Heels coming towards your mat as your fingers are spread wide, grounding into your hands, making a straight line from your hips to your wrists. Come up high onto your toes, and then exhale your heels down towards the mat. Inhale, come up high onto your toes. Exhale your heels down to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Place your right foot to the center of the mat. Inhale your left leg high. Bend your knee, open up your hip, and hook your dog. On your exhale, bring your left knee up to your left wrist while walking your right toes back for your half pigeon. Walk your hands towards your body to find a big, deep stretch in your abdomen and your spine. And when you're ready, on an exhale, begin to walk your fingertips forward, lowering your chest towards the top of your mat. Come down onto your forearms if you have access. When you feel ready, bring your hands over the top of each other and slowly lower your forehead towards the mat. With each deep breath in, creating more space, and on every exhale, falling into the space that you created. For a deeper stretch, you can reach your right arm across the body. If you want to take it a little bit farther, you can extend your left arm towards the ceiling and reach around for that half bind. Noticing how this feels in the body. If you feel any sharp pain, don't move into that. Dull burning is a sensation of stretching. That is normal. Begin to bring your left hand back down to the mat. Press yourself back up to a seat. Tuck your toes on your right foot and press back for downward facing dog. Right leg high, open up your hip, hook your dog, bringing your heel to your glute. On your exhale, bring your right knee to your right wrist. Lower your left knee and extend your toes long back behind you. Begin to walk your hands towards your body, giving yourself a big, deep stretch through your torso. And on your exhale, begin to walk your hands forward, hinging at the hips, lowering your upper body towards your mat, slow and controlled. Coming onto your forearms if you have access to that. If you're looking for something a little deeper, you can begin to bring your palms together to touch and allow your forehead to come down to the tops of your hands. Begin to walk your hands back towards your body as you extend your left arm underneath to reach towards the right side of the room. Bringing your right hand up towards the ceiling, reach around for your left thigh for that half bind. Hold this position until you feel complete. And when you're ready, bring your right hand down, release your left arm, untuck your toes, and swing that left leg around to meet your right. Extend your feet long out in front of you, and then reach your fingertips tall towards the ceiling. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and fold to the left. And then switch. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and fold. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, begin to reach towards your toes for your forward fold. Option to grab your knees or your ankles and slowly make your way down to your feet. As you're folding forward, intentionally focus on hinging at the hips versus curving in your spine. With every deep breath in, you create your space so that on your exhale, you can take up the space that you created. Going through several breaths as you get lower and lower and lower. When you feel complete, begin to walk your hands back towards your body, straightening out your spine, lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Bring the soles of your feet to your mat and grab the outside of your ankles, pressing your chest towards your knees, lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, grab the outside of your left knee, take your gaze out over your left shoulder. Switch directions, bring yourself through center. On your exhale, grab the outside of your right knee, take your gaze out over your right shoulder. Inhale through center, grab your knees, drive your chest forward for our final pose. Find your easy seated position, crisscross applesauce, close your eyes, and spend a few minutes in meditation before getting up to start your day.